Well, hello, everybody. This is Scott Killian coming to you in episode 3. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for all your positive feedback. Uh, I've had some technical difficulties. I pride myself in all my past podcasts. I've never edited or anything, it was just record it and post it. Unfortunately, I'm sad to say that with the last one I did, it was sounded. I didn't like the audio of it, and I didn't like. I felt like I was rushed. So I'm just going to take a little bit of time to understand that I need to slow down so you can understand my enunciation. And sometimes I get into a mush mouth, and I don't know. It took a lot to get to the podcast because my to-do list is like a mile long. So I kept putting it off, and then I jumped in there and had some issues, and sometimes you just gotta just pull the reins in. So this is why I'm re-recording. Hopefully I don't lose my Wi-Fi. I've already done this once today, and the Wi-Fi went out, and I don't think the podcast was actually kept. So we're giving it another go. Anyways, I want to say shout out to Jay Pierce. I was rocking one of your shirts the one that's on a lost episode. And I figure when my subs get to 1 million, I'll release the hidden tapes and the lost videos. Anyways, I'd like to say a shout out to my awesome niece Allie and Alex, her husband. They're expecting, so congratulations to them, and my brother Bill and my sister-in-law Barbara for now they're grandparents. Wow, that's crazy. My title changed too. I'm officially a great uncle. I always thought I was a great uncle, but it's official now, I guess. So congratulations. I got a new title. That's the thing to do in 2024 is get yourself a new title. And so there you go. Congratulations. I hope for a healthy baby boy and $500 if you name it Scott. Don't forget that. And I don't want anybody running that up either. Money talks. It's my idea. Don't be jumping on it and saying I'm going to give you 1,000. Okay? You could just zip it. Anyhow, what's going on? I just came back from Vegas. I went up there to visit my buddy Jeff and Clay and their mother Sid. I call her my Havasu mom. They own the wakeboard shop in Lake Havasu when I lived there, and I used to compete, and I worked with them, and we did competition. We had a great time, just a great time. But shout out to them. We went to Tool on Sunday night, and that was it was an awesome show. If you ever go to that show, you definitely want to sit back, and yeah, it's amazing. Speaking of Vegas, this broadcast is brought to you by APS Pools, Alchemist Pool Service, servicing all of the Vegas metro area. Give us a call. We'll fix you right up. What else? I had a whole spiel on flying. Okay, I don't fly much, right? So when I made these plans to go to Vegas, I got on Expedia, and I got I'm in my garage, so I can hear the dog next door. Sorry. I got a ticket for $160, right? The next highest one was Southwest, like 300 and something. So I'm like, how bad can it be, right? How bad can it be? So I flew with the low budget airlines, one on the one way there and one on the way back. And let me tell you, long story short, because there was a lot of nickel and dime in you, it turns out I should have went with Southwest due to the fact that pick your seat, you just go. There's no shakedown. You don't want this, you want that, extra this, extra that. Skip security. I don't want people skipping security. $20. Get priority boarding. $10. Get zone 2. I'm like, I don't want to do zone 2. So I print out my boarding pass. Guess what I was? I was zone 2. So if I would have paid the $10 to put me in zone 2, Would that company gave me my money back? I'm doubtful. I'm very doubtful. And another thing that really lit my fuse, okay, calm down, was when I was there, I wanted to print my boarding pass. I did 24 hours in advance, set my phone, my alarm went off, print my boarding pass. They wouldn't let me print my boarding pass until I chose one of their options. The cheapest one being $95 to be in zone 1 and give a carry-on bag. I didn't have a carry-on bag. I brought a backpack because I knew that on the way out there, they were going to charge me if I bought a carry-on. I get like 3 days of clothes on me. I'm walking through the airport like a little kid going out in Duluth, Minnesota in a blizzard, And so I had no choice. It was like a shakedown. I was like, what is nickel and dime you to death airline or Gambino family airline? I mean, what is this? So word to the wise, travel season's coming up. Go pony up a little bit of money, and you don't have to deal with that shit. I'm sorry, I told my mom I wouldn't cuss. You wouldn't have to deal with that stuff, and just, I'm one and done with the whole low budget airlines. I tried it. I'm sorry. No. Anyhow, flying's horrible. Anyways, we're thinking about, well, what direction do we want to go with the podcast? Do we want to do interviews? Do we want to do like stories? Do we want to change your oil? I think history. I definitely want to interview my pops. Good stories about when he was a kid growing up in northern Indiana. And there's a lot of stuff. But one of the stories that comes to mind that I wanted to share with you guys was the time I met Mike Ditka. As a Bears fan, I was born up in northern Illinois, but I lived in Indiana for a short while. I was a Bears fan, and Mike Dick is a god. So the time I met him, we went to the New Orleans for the Millennium to ring in 2000. And we got there early, and we were going to go to dinner on the 30th, the night before New Year's. And I'm always the first one to get ready. There was like 8 of us that went, something like that. I go down into the lobby, and I'm at the bar, and there's no one in the bar. It's early, and there's this one guy at the bar, and I don't know anything about the New Orleans Saints except Mike Ditka was the coach, and I knew they didn't have a good year. And I just said, "Hey, do you think Ditka's going to get fired from the Saints?" And he goes, "I don't know. Why don't you ask him?" He pointed down, and I looked down there, and it's Mike Ditka, and I'm like, "Oh my God, it's really Mike Ditka! I can't freaking believe it!" So I'm freaking out, shaking in my boots. I got my bearings, I got my drink. I'm like, I'm gonna walk around. If he says something to me, I'll talk to him, but I'm not gonna talk to him. I'm just not gonna do it. So I'm walking around, and turns out they're all looking at pictures, paintings of Mike Ditka when he played football. I get around closer to him, and he goes, "Hey, how you doing?" I go, "I'm all right, Coach Ditka. How you doing?" Sat there, talked to him for about 30 minutes. How's your Christmas? This and that. It's awesome. I told him about the time I got to see him coach at the old original Mile High Stadium. Game was awesome. Went into overtime. And then I left, because it's time for us to go. And the next night, it turns out it was his grand opening for Ditka's Steakhouse in New Orleans, 1999, December 31st. So I go down. My friend's girlfriend wanted to see him too. So I'm like, "Come on, let's go. So we went down there, and the maitre d', I bought a plate, Ditka's Steakhouse plate, and the maitre d' said, "I'll have you sign. What's your name?" I go, "I think he'll remember me. I drank with him last night." So Mike Ditka saw me. He goes, "Hey, Arizona, come here." And I was like, "Oh my God, he remembered me." I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe he remembered me. So now we were in his bar, and he was at a 4-top table, and his wife was across from him, from what I recollect. And then there was 2 football players on his left and right. And anyways, if anybody knows who Mike Ditka celebrated 1999 with, or 2000, what ball players they were, that'd be cool to know. If anybody knew that, I don't know. Anyhow, he signed my plate, and then he goes, "Oh, I see. I had 1 string of beads on, 2000 gold, plastic." And he goes, "Oh, you got your beads on?" I go, "Yeah, Coach Dick." I go, "You never believe what these women do down on Bourbon Street for these beads." He goes, "What's that?" And out of respect for his wife, I reached in his ear and I go, "To show you the boobies." And without missing a beat, Mike Ditka throws his hands in the air and he goes, "Give me some beads." And everybody started laughing. It was hilarious. And the plate I got is this right here, Mike Ditka's. He signed that for me. Isn't that cool? Anyhow, that's what this podcast is going to be about. Cool little stories, recollections, things that go on, forever. I'm thinking that, electronic stuff just from 10 years ago, files not supported or this or that. But I don't think YouTube's going anywhere. And quite honestly, this podcast is a great way for people to put on their memories for family for future generations. And that's why I am petitioning Podcastle to use me as their spokesman. I'm a 54-year-old washed up guy that has pretty much zero computer experience. And it was easy for me to do it. Granted, I haven't figured out how to do the editing or anything like that. I just re-record 17,000 times. But it's coming together. It's coming together, and I'm happy. So Podcastle, shout out to you. I didn't think it was going to be this easy. So if you want to have your agent get in touch with my agent, we'll just drop us a direct message or a private message or whatever it may be. And also, let's see. I haven't heard any news on the John Cougar Mellencamp apology as of yet. His camp has not reached out to me or my camp, which would be me, myself, and I. And then, let's see what else. Oh, as far as Color Guard employees that have the duty to open up the duty back, I think it's in North Carolina. I have not found out what they make, but I'm hoping they make at least $125,000 a year minimum. And then I would still contemplate it because that is just, I just think about that job and I get queasy, especially when they opened mine. They probably thought, what is this, a rhinoceros? So big. Yeah, I think that wraps it up for 3. I haven't lost my power, so I think this is probably going to be pretty good. So don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Pass it on. Tell your friends. I think this one's going to be better due to the audio is correct now. And yeah. So peace to everybody. Have a great week. And I'll start thinking of what we're going to do for podcast 4. So have a good day.